Welcome back to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your favorite host, Big Sturge. Over on the other side, we're rocking a new computer thanks to Dylan.
Yo, yo.
I got Justice League.
How's it going, everyone?
And Uncle Joey's back in studio. I know a lot of you missed him. We missed him.
We've been busy.
Dylan missed him, but we have been working hard on making things happen.
Then pure anger, that such evil exists in this world that people would resort to that.
So, Uncle Jeff, when that tower got hit, the second tower got hit, we had Dad was on earlier, and he said he was listening to a radio station. Jason, Dylan, you heard, he was listening to a radio station that was like, Martians were invading or whatever. It was, what was your thought process then? Was it, Jesus was coming back, the aliens were coming? You were a father of two children at the time that, like, where were you mindset wise? Was it urgent? Was it, time to shelter in place? What were you thinking?
No, I didn't have that urgent shelter in place. I mean, I think we were still thinking, everything's comfortable, hunky dory. We live in the United States, which they just proved us wrong.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, my mindset was, like I said before, it's how so much evil could exist in this world that this actually just happened. And we see it in the news almost every day, and it's like, wow, this is in our backyard.
I think it really opened your eyes as to the hatred for America. I didn't realize it either.
Dylan, you said that when we've talked about it before was the fact that it was on American soil.
Right.
Like all these things happen in other countries, right?
This happens. Yeah, there's bombings and explosions all the time.
People go to church and it gets blown up, but not here in America.
Nope.
It doesn't. Uncle Jeff here. I love you, brother, and but I would say, we've never had to worry about going to church and having to think about a bomber coming to the front,
Nope.
So, but yeah, I appreciate you coming on here, Uncle Jeff, and sharing where you were.
And since that day, carrying to Sunday morning service has become the norm.
Yeah.
I know when I go in there's.
When you say carrying, you mean taking a firearm into worship?
Yes.
Correct.
And we have, there's 8-10 guys that are all carrying, and we have, emergency plans in place, God forbid.
Got to have it now.
Yep.
We live in
that, though.
But,
who would ever thought that?
But, 9/11 was almost the beginning of that. Like, the world changed. From that moment forward.
Yeah.
Our lives changed. You guys were pretty young. So anybody that was more of an adult, my age, and how old were you? I don't know if you said earlier. How old were you when that happened?
2011. So
2001.
2001. I'm sorry. I was thinking September 11th.
Right.
2001. Hang on a second.
He's not the brightest at math.
38.
Oh,
you were 38 then?
Yes.
So you were a man with a family, children, wife, all of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you had to, and I was the same situation. Mine was a little younger, but you had to think about moving forward as a father. What do I do next for my family? And that was probably a thought, what's next? As a father, when I had young kids, I just had a baby. So, what's going to happen next? It was such an uncertainty. There was you didn't know what was going to happen. There were rumors and speculations, but you didn't know what was going to happen next. And that was the worst thing ever. But
my wife, 7-8 years ago or whenever, she wasn't wanting a gun within 5 miles of this house. And now, there's pretty much one on top of every cabinet, and
well,
we don't go anywhere.
Uncle Jeff, I think you're hitting it on. I know Dylan and I have had this conversation. There's one time we're out. I don't even know where we were. I'm like, Dylan, what are you looking at? And he's like, I want to know how to get out of here.
Looking for the exits.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
He's like, I need to know. He's a military man, but so he's trained for that. But I'm like, Anthony, he told me, he said, Anthony, you don't even know. I need to know how to get out at any point in time. We would have never thought that 25 years ago.
Nope.
So, Uncle Jeff, I appreciate you hopping on here.
Yeah.
We're calling people, hearing where they were that day, and
Thank you for your
that's
time,
awesome.
sir.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All
right, man.
All right, love you, man. I'll talk to you
Love you.
soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, it definitely, it impacted. It impacted, man.
Yeah.
From that moment forward, the lives that we lived up until that day were never
Yes.
the same.
So I'm calling.
So we're calling Freddie.
Okay.
So Anthony, I can go one step farther.
Go
That'll
ahead,
really
brother.
rock your world.
Go ahead.
I told you that, right? Like when we were out, like I told you I was looking for the exits.
Yeah, dude, you seemed uneasy.
You know one
And
thing
was
I
like,
always look at as well, and it might sound crazy. I look at what's on the table.
Yeah.
Because if someone comes in shooting, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and I agree, but I've never been that guy.
My thought process is, if something's coming at you, you're not thinking twice.
Yeah.
If I can grab a salt and a pepper shaker or even my phone and throw it at your
Yeah.
face as I'm getting the fuck out of the way.
But I think Jason can even hit. I mean, we guys like us who weren't military trained, we're just out trying to have a good time. Like we don't think about that.
No, you
shit,
don't.
man.
We
Now
really
we
don't.
do.
Now,
we do.
You definitely look
but-
at things. You profile people.
Yeah.
I look at situations. Yeah, that moment forward, man. Being
Yeah.
a father, everything changed. Man.
100%.
It really did.
So we're calling Freddie. Is
Yep.
that's the number you sent me? Okay.
Freddie Pichardo.
So Freddie, we're giving you a call right now, brother. Hopefully you give that an answer. Let's see here.
Hello?
Freddie?
What up, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
It is
Welcome to
finally
American
nice
Whiskey.
to talk to you, Freddie.
What's happening, Freddie?
Oh, thanks, guys, for calling me. I'm right now. I have my hair is popping up everywhere.
Yeah, so we got Uncle Joey over here in the corner.
What's happening, Freddie?
We got Justice
What's going
League,
on,
How's
Dylan,
it going, Freddie?
and you got the
All
fat
right.
man, your favorite fat man in the whole world, Big Sturch.
I'm kind of fat myself too, so
Where are you at,
Yeah,
Freddie?
that's okay.
Where you at right now?
I'm in North Miami Beach, Florida.
Oh,
Wow. Lucky you.
And let me ask you a question. How old are you, Freddie?
How old am I? 51.
51. Okay.
So-
Uncle Joey, how old are you? 82?
54.
So my bad.
So, Freddie, let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
We've all been kind of chatting about this 9/11 thing today. As a 51-year-old man, what was going on in your life on 9/11 in 2001?
Well, I was working security at a mall, and I remember going in early, and I kind of like stayed in my car for a little bit. I fell asleep for like maybe a few minutes or so, and I remember getting up and I started walking to the office so I could punch in, and next thing I hear an airplane crash into a building, and it's like holy moly, we went to the office and they had the TV on there. And I guess once I got into the office is when the other plane hit the building. And everybody there was shocked.
Oh, yeah.
And my mouth dropped and stuff. And, working security, we have to be alert at all times still. So basically when that happened, we have to stay alert and make sure that we take info of every truck that comes in into any zone.
So, had you had children at that point? Had you, a family man, kids?
I'm married.
So
Yeah, I was
when
married.
when that plane hit, a lot of people. My dad was on earlier. My dad says something very interesting. Jason, Dylan, I don't know if you hit it, Freddie, if you heard it. I would have never thought my dad was listening to something that said the fucking Martians were hitting us.
Well, your dad's old
Yeah.
enough that Orson Welles, that War of the Worlds thing, where it was like they broke in and said that, Martians were attacking and it was all just a hoax. It wasn't really happening. So he was referring to more as, was this really happening? Like, was this something that was real, or was this just some kind of fucked up, twisted thing that somebody was breaking in the media and showing? So I think that's kind of what he was hitting on. It was this really real?
right.
Because it was just so, I don't know, man, just dumbfounded, dude. I was just
and it's not like I was like, oh, my dad's a weirdo.
No.
It was just
at
that moment, it's like, are the Martians real? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
You know,
it was this real? Was this
so? Freddie, when that plane hit, and you know, maybe you saw that second plane. Did you see that second plane hit?
Yes, I did, and you know, when you start to see bodies jumping out from the building, and it was like, it was shocking. It was shocking to me, and I said to myself, "Oh my God, could this be happening?"
Yeah.
You know, and ever since then, you know, we were at full alert. You know, at the mall.
Yeah.
You know, checking every truck that comes in and taking information in case of anything. You know, I used to be with the Guardian Angels, so it's like I'm ready for whatever comes. You know, I defend whoever I need to defend. You know.
So Guardian Angels, that's the 1%ers, correct?
From New York, the Guardian Angels from New York.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
I mean, so you're hitting in. I mean, when you talk about New York at that time, you know, you're hitting at you're hitting in the gut at that point. I mean, it's tough. It's a situation that happened that none of us, I think, were really ready for that one. You know what I mean? It was, you know, as a fifth grader, it's difficult to feel, you know, different than I felt then, just because I was so young. I didn't understand, and that's why Uncle Joey, my Uncle Jeff, and you know, Eddie, you guys were adults at that time. You know, you guys felt something different at that time. You know.
That sense of security was completely yanked out from under
my
us,
dad
man.
told you. I mean, he was on 25 minutes ago. He told you. He's like, we locked the doors.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. You can lock your front doors. When a bomb hits, it's not going to make a fucking difference.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever felt that whole, like, oh, shit. Like, what just happened?
It was a really hard time, you know. Working at the mall here in Miami, it's you know, it was really
Miami, Florida at that. I mean, we're talking Miami, Florida.
Right.
How many people were at the mall at that time?
Everybody that comes here to Miami, you know, that's the thing. We have everybody that comes, you know, from different countries. They come here to Miami.
Right. One of my best buddies is from Miami, Florida, and dude, like Miami, Florida is a hot spot. They call that a hot spot. You know, everybody's there, from you know, Hell's Angels to you know, just people vacationing. There's a broad amount of people there from different situations. So,
absolutely. And
they're all shopping at the mall. So I can only imagine what it would have been like at that point, Freddie.
Oh, I mean,
you
know, we have to keep our eyes open. And, believe me, I was ready for anything that comes. You know, believe me, I will not stop.
Yeah. Yeah. To protect the people. You know, that's your job, you know.
Exactly.
So, Freddie, we appreciate you. I thank you very, very much for hopping. I know it was last second, but, you know, Dylan, we said before we started this, we wanted to hear people's stories on 9/11 in 2001.
Absolutely.
You brought that tonight, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the, you know, last second call, but I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for calling, and, you know, I like listening to you guys, and, you know, thanks for all the info that I need, you know.
Hey, let us know what other info you need, man. I mean,
we're down for a lot of shit.
We'll send you a shirt, man. We got all kinds of shirts in the garage.
We appreciate you, brother. We really do.
Freddie, how the hell did you even start listening to American whiskey?
That's a good question.
Wow, how did I start? I think the first time I was listening is when you guys had who you guys had? I forgot who you had on there. See, my mind is not here now, but I started listening to you guys about 2 3 weeks ago.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much for your listens.
Very much. I you know, we have people on here. They're like, I don't know how I heard about you, but we heard about you and we like it. So we appreciate it, Freddie. We very much appreciate it. We're going to hit on you here after this episode. We want to get you one of our shirts for getting on here, man. We appreciate you very, very much.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. And I hope to hear from you guys again.
Oh,
It
you'll
was
hear
nice
from
having
us,
you,
man.
man.
That sounds good, man. We're going to try to make our way down to Florida here soon. Dylan and I were just talking about it. There's a distillery down there we want to hit, and I'm sure we could probably talk Uncle Joey into it. Uncle Joey.
Florida.
That's what I'm saying. So, Freddie, we might have to meet up with you when we come down there.
Dang, I'm all for it.
This is in Naples,
Right on.
Florida. This is in Naples. I don't think that's far from Miami, actually.
I think it's an hour drive, I believe.
Oh, that's
doable.
nothing.
That's
That's
doable,
nothing.
Freddie.
An hour or two.
Yep.
That's a doable drive, Freddie.
All right, Freddie.
All right, man. We appreciate you very much.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Be safe.
All right,
How's it
brother.
going, Freddie?
Peace.
So is this game happening, Dylan?
Yes, it is.
It's about
to
game
start in
time,
5
boys.
minutes.
Yep.
All right, so I mean, we got a couple other people that wanted on. Uncle Joey, are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch this game.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I still need to do dinner.
I had to
But
eat before it came. I did the same thing.
I did want to hit on one
I can
thing.
keep it going. I mean, if they're leaving, I can keep it going.
I wanted to hit on one thing real quick.
It's all about 9/11 for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear these stories.
It has nothing to do with disagreeing with you. You brought up Run, Fight, Hide. That
Who brought
is
that up?
Ann.
Okay.
Ann, I love you, but Run, Fight, Hide is the biggest bullshit training I've ever heard of. They want to train you and say it all depends on the way you are if you'll run, fight, or hide in a situation. The total reality of the circumstance is no one knows how they will respond unless they train for something day in, day out, or until it happens. You can sit there in training and ask somebody that is a teacher all day long, what would you do if someone walks in your classroom with a gun? But unless you train for that every single day,
I call bullshit on that.
you don't know how you'll respond.
Well, I call bullshit on that. Call bullshit on that, man.
Why?
Because at least they're training now.
No, I'm not calling bullshit 100% on the training.
Here's what I'm saying. My wife is a preschool teacher.
Right. And I get that.
I want them to teach her that. I want them to
but what
teach
I'm saying
whether
is
you run,
it
fight.
needs to be more extensive.
It's not going to,
Just
Dylan.
doing one training a year
That's
is
not going to
nothing.
happen, though, because everybody's worried about their money.
But one training a year is nothing.
You're right.
It's not.
So we have to be the ones that come about and say, hey,
And that's
look.
what I'm bringing up
And
right
here,
now.
you know, one of the
Until-
other things that hit right now, Uncle Joey, I don't know if you're sitting over there. You know, I've got 4 kids. They're your nieces and nephews, right? Mm-hmm. My wife's a teacher at the school. You know, everyone's bitching and complaining about the drop-off line at this new school or the pickup line. You know, I don't give a flying fuck about that. At least your kid's there and they're safe at the moment. When I walked into my wife's brand new school that was just built, she said, "What do you think of it?" I said, "I can't believe your door locks."
Right.
It's a heavy fucking door that locks.
And I remember you saying something in the past, Anthony, that doors
It's a
you
heavy
could just
door that locks.
in the past you said you could just walk indoors.
Yeah, they were wooden doors. Dude.
Literally
Right.
at Rolling
Schools
Hills.
used to have wooden
on-
doors with no locks.
What road was Rolling Hills on? I'm sorry.
Moorfield
Middle-
Road.
Moorfield
Or
Road.
whatever else.
Uncle Joey will tell you, you could walk in there. They had dividers for classrooms.
Right.
They didn't have doors.
And-
So for the people out there that are bitching and complaining over the fact that it takes 15 minutes longer for you to drop off your kid, they have doors that lock.
Right. And that's what I'm getting at here, Anthony. It's not for
My
people.
kid has a fighting chance now, and my wife has a fighting chance. Uncle Joey's nieces and nephews and cousin have a fighting chance over something fucking stupid of somebody walking in with a gun at this point. Has a fighting chance because they're fucking door locks.
But they're not walking in anymore. That's
Not
a big
now,
thing.
they're not.
And that's what I'm getting at here is one training is not enough. You have to set them up for success.
But that run, fight, flight training, I think, is
It's
part
a
of
good
that
initial-
next step. It's a next
yeah.
step.
It's a
Uncle
initial.
Joey, it's initial. Dude, we live in Ohio. Nothing happens the next day. Uncle Joey hit it on the nail earlier.
But that's something that's been
Before
going on for years.
9/11, You could walk into an airport with a fucking cigarette and a lighter.
A
cared.
pocket knife, a razor blade.
Nobody cared.
An ice pick.
No one thought they would
pound of
take
weed.
a lighter and start a fire on a plane. Well, guess what?
You could smoke on a plane. Yeah.
You could smoke on the plane back then. Times change. And what you're saying, Dylan, is, okay, the run, what was it? The run,
fight, hide.
Okay, run, fight, hide. That is something to train. Because, Dylan, if you have people walking into a school, you got to realize you're a prison guard.
Okay.
There's how many students versus teachers?
I get that. But
before this year,
what I'm saying
they
is,
didn't even have doors on their classrooms.
But you're not getting it. What I'm saying is one class is doing nothing. You need to do extensive training on stuff.
Right, but they didn't even have doors.
I get that.
We've made progress.
We have made
We're
progress.
making progress.
I get that fully.
We have.
But
Well,
one
it's
class
That's
is not
not
enough.
even from 9/11. That's just all these fucktards that want to shoot up schools.
But that brings it up, though.
No. It's the whole-
9/11,
It's American
9/11,
security.
the situation,
Yeah,
it
it's
brings
security.
it up.
It's homeland
I think
security.
Dylan, from military aspect, realizes that training is not going to do during an invasion, and I get that. But
and
at
Anthony,
least this year we have doors that can lock.
right. But you know how passionate I am about this. I want, and we brought this up, I think there should be, it doesn't even have to be a veteran, but it would be great to have an armed veteran in every single fucking school.
Uncle Joey hit that when him and I started crying on here one time.
I know we did.
That's a whole.
Because it's something.
He cried his ass off. I cried
It
my
is
ass
something
off.
that's been brought up multiple times. And what does it hurt?
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't hurt nothing.
Nope.
It doesn't hurt anything.
And it probably puts some of these vets to work. It probably gives
really
some,
does.
It gives them
It
gives
kills
them
two
a-
birds with one stone.
well, it gives some of these vets a purpose.
Dude, when you talk about all these things, I'm a maintenance man in an apartment complex. Not low income. It's a decent apartment complex. But to see how some of these veterans are treated,
100%,
it blows
man.
my mind.
And it's crazy because my aunt is actually pretty high up in the school system, and me and her have talked about this millions of times. And she said if somebody will actually be serious about it, she will back it 100% because there's
A lot
so
of
many
us would.
people that want to do it already.
But if
Some
there's-
states are.
Uncle Joey, Dylan, I think you both back me when I say this. You know, we live in northeastern local school districts. Those schools should have been replaced years ago. Years ago. But it's about one thing in America. Money.
Yep.
It's about money. Uncle Joey hit it earlier. How hard would it have been in 2001 to have metal detectors or
The bombs, all the shit.
just all the shit they have now?
Yeah.
My brother just went to Florida. He had to get to the airport 3 hours early to get onto it on time. Uncle Joey, am I right or wrong?
It's crazy.
If your
yeah.
flight left at 7, you could get there at 6:30 and be on that motherfucker
Yeah, you could get dropped off at the gate and walk right in.
and run in there
while you
and
smoke your
fucking go.
cigarette running through
Literally.
the airport. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah, it's changed.
I expect better out of my country. I expect better out of the school districts. Dylan, I get what you were saying. I'm not hating on you, but at least right now I can grasp the fact that my kids and my wife have a fucking door that can lock.
And I 100% agree with you.
We need better.
That is different, but it's kind of the same of what I'm getting at. We need to do better.
Uncle Joey just had a situation. His granddaughter's sister.
Oh, that school bus flipped over. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could go into people call us political. They would call us political, but illegal residents of the United States.
Mexican driver's license.
They were Haitian, I think.
Mexican driver's
Whatever it was with Mexican, they were Haitian with Mexican driver's license. That makes it even worse.
license. Yeah. They said due to their immigration status, there was no way those Mexican licenses were valid. So where are they getting them?
Strengthen up America.
Exactly.
I said it earlier. Whether you're Republican or whether you're Democrat, strengthen up. Be better.
And Anthony, it's
His granddaughter could have been on it.
right.
My daughter could have been on it.
But what makes me
Be
sad,
better.
What makes me sad is
People are like, "Oh, immigration. It's not a big deal." No, everything's a big deal. We need to start treating things like it's a big deal.
But Anthony, what makes me sad is that you guys are proud of a locked door. That's what's sad.
That is
because
sad.
it should be fucking better.
It should be. You're right.
Our kids should go to school and feel safe.
Uncle Joey shouldn't, and his wife shouldn't have to worry about his daughter granddaughter being on a school bus.
And that's what pisses me off. So I hope you see where I'm coming
I
from.
do.
It's not a simple fact that, we have a locked door now. No,
Yeah.
that's not fucking enough.
It's not.
It's not.
Be better.
One training a year is not enough.
But I think what Ian was saying, well, at least there's something, but it needs to be more than that.
It's the same as anything you do in your life. If you do it once a year, you are not proficient at it.
100%.
You're not.
100%.
You need to muscle memory and you need to train to be proficient at something.
You're right.
Doing something once a year, you might as well not do it.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. Now, when you start doing it more and more, you build that muscle memory. It comes to memory. You start thinking about things.
You know, Uncle Joey, when that happened to your granddaughter's sister, dude, I'm not trying to be a pussy when I say this. I cried.
Dude, I cried at work.
Dude, I said,
Uh-huh.
when I found out, my wife called me and said, you know, it was a person not even supposed to be here. I said, this could have been prevented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That? You know what? Thank God she wasn't even, her sister wasn't even on the bus that day. But you know something? The boy that lost his life was on the bus that day.
Yeah, he got on the bus thinking it was going to be a good school day, and poor kid lost his life, man. It was a sad
There was
day.
injuries. That school bus driver, did you see the couple days later? Was it the day later, Jason? There was a sheriff on the school bus.
Yeah.
On every
school
one of
bus.
them. And then the bus driver got off. You know what? You're a fucking hero, sir. You're a fucking hero. The school bus driver, I told Uncle Joey the other day, I have a CDL. I drove buses. I'll never do it again.
So I might be wrong here. I think I read it somewhere. Didn't he get off and talk to every single parent?
Single parent. Kudos to you, sir.
Yep.
And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. You should never have had
And
it
he is
because they should
driving-
never have been here.
And he picked the kids up the very first day that bus route ran. He picked the kids up. Yep.
That could have been Dylan. That could have been my kids.
Yeah,
I know.
It's crazy.
And you know how much I love your kids.
I know you do.
And that's what makes me passionate. And it doesn't even just have to be your fucking kids, dude.
It doesn't.
It's any kid.
I know that.
They shouldn't have to worry about this shit.
We have a lot to look at right now, guys. You know, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. Uncle Joey and I think him and I, Dylan, we're the most like, we don't care what you are. We just want these babies to be safe. We want us to be able to go to the movies safe. We want to go to the mall safe. We want to fly to Miami safely. Guys, it has nothing to do with our Republican or Democrat. I mean, it has nothing to do with
We're
that.
all Americans.
And shout out to Captain Zach Hollingsworth.
Yes, sir.
You will never be forgotten. I appreciate everybody that was on here tonight.
Thank you.
I know this episode went a lot longer than normal. We've had a few drinks, whatever it is.
We're good tonight.
But,
This
hey,
is a
we
good
really
This is
episode.
a
haven't even
good
had
one.
much.
I appreciate
Really not.
to every one of you that we talked to tonight. Thank you for your
But
time
just remember,
and your stories.
when you're sitting there inside the new school districts of Northeastern, and I know a lot of you listen, and a lot of you are complaining about the fact that your kid is going to be late to school because they combined it. They got there safe. They got there safe.
Yep.
Be patient. Talk shit if you want to because you think I'm talking shit. I don't care. Your kid is safe, and they are working on making it better for you guys. We have doors that fucking lock, and I'll end it on that. Northeastern Local Schools has doors that'll finally fucking lock and keep your kid safe. Uncle Joey, anything else you want to add?
No, sir. That's a strong statement.
Fucking doors that lock. Dylan, anything you
We
want to add?
appreciate
I
you
mean,
guys.
sorry that we went down that rabbit hole, guys.
It's not a
but
rabbit hole.
It's something that needed to be said.
you know something, dude? Dylan, you're right. The run, fight, hide shit. Like, we need to do better. Do better, America. Do better.